In this video, I will bring forward a well-known ancient Chinese culture, a complex metaphysical philosophical symbol that explains natural and social phenomena. 八卦. However, I am not an expert in 八卦, and I also don't know how to explain it due to its complexity. So I will carry on the explanation of it only in brief, and will emphasize on its historical origin, instead. 八 means 8, and 卦 means divinatory symbol. In explaining 八卦, I would rather use this picture for convenience. 八卦 is one of the oldest Chinese esoteric concept. It is an octagonal picture with a circle at the center. Actually, the picture consists of two parts, which each is the oldest Chinese esoteric concept. The first part is the circle at the center. It is called 太极. 太 means the greatest, overly great, and so on. And 极 means the ultimate, extreme, the utmost pole position, or as such. So, the circle, 太极, symbolizes the universe. It says that the universe has only two basic elements, positive and negative, drawn in black and white, in balance and inseparable interrelated one to the other. While as there is no pure positive nor pure negative, that the positive part has a negative dot in it, as well as the negative part has a positive dot in it. Things in the universe are formed from a series of negative and/or positive elements. At the very basic, there are 8 thing categories that are represented by 3 negative and/or positive elements. And this is 八卦, the outer octagonal part. The positive is drawn as an unbroken line and the negative is drawn as a broken line. So, it is said that 八卦 is the developed form of 太极, and commonly, 八卦 is drawn together with its 太极, which is also known as 混元八卦. 八卦 is actually the earliest written expression symbol. It also represents 易, or the changes study. It is as well a tool in Chinese culture to deduce the relationship between various things in the universe, space and time. Each trigram represents a certain category: sky for 3 unbroken lines, earth for 3 broken lines, wind, thunder, water, fire, mountain, and lake. 八卦 was the philosophical thought of ancient China that penetrated into all aspects of life, such as medicine, martial arts, astronomy, geography, philosophy, music, mathematics and so on, in addition to divination. To figure further detailed complex thing categories, 3-line 八卦 is combined with another 3-line 八卦 to form a 64 卦, or is known as 重卦, and so on. By the way, 重 has multiple meanings. But in this case, it means piled or stacked. Now let's look at the origin of 八卦. There are some legends about it, and the most famous one was that Emperor 伏羲 invented 八卦 and painted it on 卦台 mountain for the first time. 卦台 mountain is also known as 卦卦台. I also have mentioned 伏羲 in the previous video in this playlist that he was the most famous legendary that created Chinese characters on tortoise shell. His era was unclear, but some predicted in around the early of the 3rd millennium BC. There is another famous legend of 河图洛书, 2 ancient mysterious pattern drawings containing profound principles of cosmic astrology as the base of 八卦 creation, while the stories behind the origin of those drawings themselves are varies. King Wen 1152 BC to 1056 BC, and his son 周公旦 of Zhou dynasty 12th century BC to 256 BC, wrote 易经, mainly containing the 64 卦. The orientation of 八卦 was modified to reflect that the original one was for the scene before the world was born, while the modified one was for the opposite, but their meaning remained unchanged. Some people also think that both of them represent the concepts of 3-dimensional vertical space and time respectively. Such as the original one as the vertical viewer and the one for day after tomorrow as horizontal viewer. There is also a view that the original one conforms to the time of the day, the basic formation of the universe, the relationship between the Earth rotation corresponding to the Sun and the Moon, the combination of agricultural society and the philosophy of life. While the modified one conforms to the location and people, the relationships amongst father, mother, son, daughter, etc. In Song Dynasty, 960 to 1279, Shaoyong, 1012 to 1077, in his book, 黄极经世, called 伏羲八卦, as innate or congenital 八卦, and acquired 八卦, for king 文八卦, 一传, or also known as 十翼, or the 10 wings, is the 10 chapters written by Confucius, 551 BC to 479 BC. After studying 易经, the article has its own understanding and perception. Confucius also included 易经 as one of his Confucianism textbooks. Other than these two famous types of 八卦, there are still some other types. Below I will mention some, by no means of exhaustive list, nor with lengthy explanation. There were also found ancient traditional 八卦, originated from 乐 people, 连山八卦, and 归藏八卦, which were incompatible with the one of king 文. 连山 referred to the 烈 mountain in 随州, Hubei province, while 归藏 referred to 秭归, 宜昌, Hubei province. Some experts believe that these two 八卦 were far earlier than the one by king 文. As there are innate, or in its original Mandarin is written as before date, and acquired, or in its original Mandarin is written as after date. In the 1990s, contemporary scholars have proposed another variety for corrections where they think there are some errors in date, 八卦, which is still in debate. By the way, as a complement to this 八卦 discussion, I would remind audiences that the markings of the Chinese ancient compass directions are just the opposite of those of Western ones, as south is on front and north is put on back, or in other words, we sit on north facing south, so left is east and right is west, just exactly 180 degrees away from the north-up direction of Western style. One of China's great inventions was compass. That, according to legend, it was invented around the mid of the 3rd millennium after noticing a needle always pointing to the south. So compass in Mandarin is 指南针, or its word-by-word translation is needle pointing to the south. That means south is the prime direction. In addition to 八卦, there is also another well-known ancient Chinese culture, a complex metaphysical philosophical symbol that explains natural and social phenomena. 五行, 五 means 5, and 行 has multiple meanings, but in this case, it could be said having a meaning of element. In ancient Chinese philosophy, nature was seen to be composed of 5 basic elements. They are 金 or gold, to represent metals, 木 or wood, to represent flora and gas, 水 or water, to represent liquid substances, 火 or fire, to represent heat and light as well, and 土 or earth or soil, to represent rock and land as well. One of important studies in 五行 is that one element supports the life of another element in a fixed sequence. But one element also kills another element in another fixed sequence. Gold supports the life of water. Water supports the life of wood. Wood supports the life of fire. Fire supports the life of earth, and earth supports the life of gold. Gold kills wood. Wood kills earth. Earth kills water. Water kills fire, and fire kills gold. Medicine, astronomy, meteorology, chemistry, geography, philosophy, music, mathematics and so on, in addition to divination, were developed on the base of this 五行 at that time. 五行 had been recorded during 春秋 period, approximately 771 BC to 476 BC, mature since the Warring States period, about 475 BC to 221 BC. It evolved from 五才 knowledge, which was believed already to have existed since the 3rd millennium BC. A legend said that Emperor
皇帝
from around that time established it based on
八卦
bone inscriptions from late
Shang
dynasty, about 1600 BC to 1000 BC, already had records on this.
五财
By the way,
财
also has multiple meanings, but in this case, it means material. Before, there was also
六府
which were gold, wood, water, fire, earth, and grain. King Yo, 795 BC to 771 BC, of Zhou dynasty deleted the grain. By the way,
六
means 6, and
府
means house. Those all are about a brief on
五行
and this concludes the presentation of this video. Thank you for watching.